Hey y'all, welcome back to A Dinosaur in the Library. I'm Dawn and this is Vlogmas Day 24, the last day of Vlogmas, and I cannot believe that I remembered and did a video for every single day. I figured at some point it would break down and turn into an every other day affair, but I made it all the way through. I'm not saying they were the best videos in the world, but thank you to those of you who watched all of them and put up with my occasionally odd screen or thumbnails. So today I'm going to do, for the last day of Vlogmas, my top 10 most anticipated reads, not necessarily of the next year, but just the top 10 things on my shelf that I already own that I really want to get to soon, and that I'm hoping I can get to before the beginning of the school year, which is on January the 6th, which is a Thursday, and it is a very odd day to start school on, I think. Although I think school technically starts on that Wednesday. I just don't have classes. But yeah, so it'll be my very first time being a lead instructor. I TA'd last semester, and which meant I taught the labs. So I actually did teach kind of on my own, but there was a lead instructor above me. And now, even though of course I have supervisors in the department, this is the first time that I have a class all on my own, and it's both exciting and terrifying. So you guys wish me luck. January 6th. Keep me in your thoughts, okay? But anyway, I will get started. So the top 10 things, and some of them are kind of a cheat because there's 2 or 3 involved, but these are the top 10 things on my shelf that I really want to read soon and hope that I get to some of them before the school year starts. And the first one is this nifty little poetry pamphlet. 2 men are explaining the world to each other. Around their feet, young girls are growing antlers. 100 Poems by Jen Campbell. And I talked about this in my haul from Scholastic. I talked about this before. I got this through a crowdfunding campaign. Jen Campbell spent 48 hours writing 100 poems, and all of the money went to Book Bus, which is a charity that provides books and things to underprivileged children in internationally. And I've read only a couple of these because she did post them on her blog, and I will link that below in case you want to check those out and you did not happen to back the campaign. But you could read them all online as she wrote them, and if you backed at a certain amount, you got a numbered and signed pamphlet of all 100 poems, and this is number 112 of 235. So I'm really looking forward to this because Jen has some beautiful, beautiful work in here from what I've seen before, and she's just an amazing person. So I thought this was something I should definitely pick up and definitely read. And I also want to get her book. She has a book of poetry out called The Hungry Ghost Festival, and I would really like to read that as well, so hoping to get that next year. The next book is a book that I'm already reading, and I'm actually almost through it, and that is The Bloody Chamber by Angela Carter. This happens to be the 75th anniversary Penguin Deluxe Classics Deluxe edition, which I love those. I'm kind of obsessed with that edition and Penguin books in general. But this is a collection of retellings from a British author. I think she's British, and I've heard about this on multiple people's channels, but Jen Campbell's channel is the first place I saw it, and everybody seems to love her. She's apparently a classic in Britain. I did not know of her, honestly, before this, because apparently some of the British booktubers who are in college are reading her for some of their classes, so she must be pretty popular, and I can see why. What I've read so far, these are beautiful, and I'm really enjoying them, and as I said, they're fairy tale retellings, so if you're into that sort of thing, you should definitely check her out. She has beautiful language. And the next one is this bad boy. Shirley Jackson, Let Me Tell You. New Stories, Essays, and Other Writings, edited by Lawrence Jackson Hyman and Sarah Hyman DeWitt. So this is previously unpublished Shirley Jackson fiction. I think there may be some nonfiction in here, but I have not read it yet. So I'm really hoping to get to it soon. It came out in August. I got it not too long after it came out, and I just have not gotten around to it. But I'm in kind of a short story kick lately, so hopefully this will be getting off my shelf, or not getting off my shelf, but getting read soon. The next book is also short stories, and that is Vampires in the Lemon Grove and Other Stories by Karen Russell. This is a book I also heard about on Jen Campbell's channel. I don't know a whole lot about what's in the stories. I just know that I've heard several people say that this is wonderful, and I've also heard several people say that her work in general is good. She also wrote Swamplandia, another book I have not read, but if these are good, then I will probably pick that up at some point. The next one is a book I just picked up recently. I got the professor for whom I was a TA gave me a Barnes & Noble gift card as a sort of thank you for the semester. And one of the books I picked up was Ray Bradbury's The Illustrated Man, which is short stories. And I surprisingly have never read this. I read plenty of other Ray Bradbury, Something Wicked This Way Comes, of course Fahrenheit 451, but I've never gotten around to reading The Illustrated Man for some reason, and it was a pretty cheap edition, and so I thought I'd go ahead and grab this one, and hopefully I'll get to it soon. The next one, if you saw my video earlier in Vlogmas, the Quirksgiving swag video, I did Quirksgiving from Quirk Books, and the book that I got in my prize pack was Night of the Living Trekkies by Kevin David Anderson and Sam Stahl. It's a horror novel that has to do with a Trek convention and zombies, so how could I not love this? How could anybody not love this? Yeah. And I just got it not that long ago, so usually, unless it's something that I've been really anticipating, sometimes it takes a while to get read sitting on my shelves, but I'm hoping to get that one read pretty soon. The next one is one of my cheats, and it is these 3 Penguin Classics editions. I told you I'm kind of obsessed with Penguin Classics, and Jean has been doing, and I will link her channel below. I absolutely love her channel. She's amazing. But she has been doing these videos of collections that she has, so of Penguin books and of this, and I was thinking I have a lot of Penguin books, maybe or Penguin Classics and the graphic deluxe editions, and I think maybe I'll do that at some point. But these are 3 that I've picked up recently. This one I've had the longest, and that's Franz Xavier von Schonworth, which I'm sure I'm mispronouncing, The Turnip Princess and Other Newly Discovered Fairy Tales. So it's a book of fairy tales that have only recently been discovered in the last couple of years. So yeah, and I think that's German, so if you speak German, you can correct me in your head and say it properly instead of my butchered American Southern accent here. The second one is Ray Russell's The Case Against Satan, which is apparently a precursor to The Exorcist and a horror novel. They released 3 horror classics in October, and I have 2 of them, and I need to get the 3rd one, title of which is slipping my mind, but I would really like to get it soon. It has a seriously psychedelic cover. I think the author's last name is Beaumont. So yeah, and I think I saw somewhere where somebody included it as a nightmare-inducing book, so sounds like something up my alley. And the 3rd book, and the second of the horror books that I have, is Thomas Ligotti's Songs of a Dead Dreamer and Grimscribe. I don't know a whole lot about either of these books. I just know what I read online about them. They were horror classics and they were being released in October, and that other people have said they are amazing. So definitely wanting to check these out. And I do love horror, even though it doesn't seem like I really read a whole lot of it this year. I really want to get some of my favorite horror authors catalogs, back catalog, and read them, because I've been missing my horror novels quite a bit. And I think, well, no, not all of them, but so this is my other cheat, and I need to get the rest of these actually, but I have Death Note, the black editions 1 and 2, and I love these black editions. Number 1 because they have the black edged paper, and I love the design on all of them. It's got Ryuk, and they're awesome, but also because they're a very economical choice, because each of the black editions contains 2 volumes of the graphic novel. So volume 1 has volumes 1 and 2, this one has volumes 3 and 4, and so on. So you're getting 2 for $15 rather than 1 for about 10. So excellent choice, easier on the pocketbook, and you also have these beautiful black editions on your shelf. Yeah, and the numbers are in the skulls, and I've read book 1 before, but it's been quite some time since I read it, and or I've read volumes 1 and 2 actually, and I haven't read any of the others, and I really want to get through this series because I really enjoyed what I did read. And the last two are young adult books. This first one is such a crime that I have not read it yet. It's an LGBTQ award winner, and that's Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. Not only is this an LGBTQ book, the two main characters are Mexican Americans, and I think it's set in the 80s, and I have heard nothing but amazing things about this. I cannot wait to get to it. And I think I'm going to say they're bisexual. I have not read this. I know they're LGBTQ. I don't know if they're gay or bisexual, but either way, this is going to be good. And the very last one I have is a young adult book, which I have not heard a ton about, but it's Every Last Word by Tamara Ireland Stone, and the main character has OCD. As I've said before on this channel, I have OCD, and I love to read anything that has to do with OCD, whether it be fiction or nonfiction. At some point, I'm going to do an OCD memoirs video, so you guys can get some great recommendations from that, because there are some really good ones out there for people who are interested in learning more about this disorder, and especially from a first person point of view, because it's a much different story from this side of it than it is from the clinical side. So yeah, those are my top 10 most anticipated reads off of my shelf. What is the next book that you really want to read? And thank you guys so much for sticking with me through Vlogmas 2015. I'm so excited that I finished it, and I probably will not be back tomorrow because we're going to my mom's for Christmas and that kind of thing, but I'll be back sometime next week with a new video. Bye!